Today, I'm going to talk about my book haul, my mindset, spirituality, esoteric, ancient textbook haul. Check this out. If you're new here, I post videos on increasing your vibration, living a joyful life, and living with inner peace. I also share videos on book summaries and book hauls, whether it be personal development, mindset, spirituality, esoteric, anything to help increase your mindset. So the first book I got is called One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. I really like how it said, we are all God. We have just forgotten. And this book was written by Erin, Werley, and her husband. So basically, Erin is channeling spiritual energy, her higher self, whatever you like to call source energy, universal mind. But she is connecting to a creator called I Am. She was asking questions. So she was in a deep meditative state, and she was asking questions about life and just how to live a life and why are we here, and forget that we're God. And God meaning like your higher self. Like if we're made in the image of God, that means that we are God. If you really think about it, like we are our own God. We are our own higher self here in this world to make it better by going through all these experiences, circumstances, and how to elevate from it. Pretty excited. I actually finished this book, gonna do a 5 best ideas on it. One Truth, One Law, I Am, I Create. The next book I got is The Emerald Tablet of Hermes. This is just the viewpoint of, I believe Hermes is the viewpoint of the in ancient Greece, I might be wrong on there, versus ancient Egypt, which is the Emerald Tablets of Tuth and Atlantean. It's interesting. I got this because the ancient texts that were written on different stories, a lot of them were similar. Like here's my copy on the Emerald Tablets. So this is the ancient Egypt's viewpoint, and this is like the ancient Greek and their Emerald Tablets. So their viewpoint versus the ancient Egyptians. And based on both, they're very similar. So that's a pretty interesting thing how different cultures speak about different things, and it's a bit different with descriptions, but it's the same type overall synopsis and story. The Emerald Tablets of Hermes. And the next book I got is The Law of One, The Raw Material by Ra, a humble messenger of the Law of One. And at first, so this is similar to the other one, I Am. Person here is, again, they are, the being that they're connecting to is Ra, like the spiritual being, their higher self. And the Law of One, I realized what the Law of Oneness is. Being the Law of Oneness is basically connecting. All of us in the universe are all connected, and that's what they mean by the Law of One, the oneness. Everything that you do can affect others and the world around you. This again is pretty cool. It's a bit heavy, like not heavy, just kind of, you just have to read it through the lines. But it's basically someone asking a person a question. They're connected to some machine in deep hypnosis, and the person is reading out the answers. The other book, the spiritual being was called, or the higher self was called I Am, and this one's called Ra. Pretty interesting, because ancient Egyptian God's God in ancient Egypt was Ra. So maybe this is the essence of Ra. The next book I got is called Set Boundaries, Find Peace, A Guide to Reclaiming Yourself. Last year was not just last year, but the last year and a half have been a lot about setting boundaries, especially for myself. The moment I set boundaries, things just got so much better. And that's what one of my friends said, is that, I think I even read it somewhere, is that when you don't set boundaries, that's when people have to go to therapy, because they just can't. Oh yeah, maybe it was my wife who said that, but it's just because they can't say no to things that really put them down. Like, you have to say no. You can't say no to things that bring you down, even though deep down inside, like guilt, like even having guilt, and you're not setting boundaries because you have to feel like you're saying yes because you feel guilty. This is one thing that's really helped me find peace, is to set boundaries and read books on boundaries. I'll be doing a 5 best ideas on this book as well. The next book I got is what one of my mindset / counselor / therapist, the one I used to see, told me to get, was called Proof of Heaven. Again, it's about a journey about the afterlife and just how this guy went through sickness and what matters, like going through that out-of-body experience of seeing the afterlife. So I haven't finished this book, but once I do, I will create a 5 best ideas. She said it was a really good book to read. And the next book I got is called Power by Robert Greene. Very interesting. I haven't read it yet. Looked really good. Read things here. I was just afraid, I guess, to pick it up because I didn't know the energy behind it. Sometimes I do energy on the books. I like do a muscle test to see if this will be a good book for me. But it's still at least over, I guess, in the calibration of the Dr. Hawkins. I feel the energies of all the books I read, and this is a bit high. It's like not the highest, but I'm sure I'll learn something from it. Also, I was pretty happy that it was on sale on Amazon for like 16 bucks. I'm like, okay, you know what, I'll get it brand new when it's really like 35. Looking forward to finishing this book, doing a 5 best ideas. There are 48 laws, so maybe I might have to do a 10 best idea. Power. So that's the end of my book haul. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications really helps with the algorithms, with helping to get this information out to people who need it, to help brighten their mind, to brighten their life, and brighten their world, and even to help get this out to people who need to read maybe these kind of books, to brighten their mind, to brighten their life, and brighten their world, to live in light and love, and increase the world's vibration. See you in the next video.